Hello Comic Army, my name is Chris the Comic Vet. Welcome to New Comic Book Day at Red Rocket Comics. We'll take a look at some of the books that just came out today. A little bit later I'll show you what's actually on my pull list. So let's take a look at the Marvel books that's here first. Right off the bat I can see that I missed out on this glorious cover for Avengers Twilight. Pardon me, this is the second printing. Chris, I may have to pick this up. We have a brand new Captain America. Here we have another floating head variant, and there's a very nice Stormbreakers cover as well featuring Squirrel Girl right here. Actually, I like that a lot. A new Spider title dropped this week, Spectacular Spider-Man, featuring both Peter and Miles. This is a very nice foil variant, and we have some other nice variants as well. This one where it's kind of like a Frozen in Time. The normal cover A will be the one that's on my pull list. We have a new Ms. Marvel. Very nice. I gotta admit, I don't know that much about the character. We have a new Doctor Strange with a nice Alex Ross cover. Or is this a little bit older? I think I've seen this before. We have a new Sensational She-Hulk with a bubble helmet. I know a certain friend of mine that's a fan of that type of thing. And we'll take a look down here. I know that there's a bunch of glorious covers for the new What If when it comes to Aliens #1. We had this particular variant cover here. Very nice. This one. And finally, this one. And the synopsis says here on the cover A, what if Carter Burke had lived? And that is the character that was portrayed by the actor Paul Reiser. It looks like Paul Reiser is one of the writers for this book. Also, we have a new Weapon X-Men, issue #1. And the book that I'm presuming is going to be on everyone's pull list, well, maybe not this one, but probably the Ultimate Spider-Man #1, the third printing. But I was talking about Ultimate X-Men #1. This is a variant copy right here. Exciting time for Marvel. It's been a long time. Well, Comic Army, I hope you enjoyed that spotlight inside Red Rocket Comics, my LCS, which is located here in Cambridge, Ontario. About 75 kilometers or 55 miles due west of Toronto. If you ever make your way into Canada, specifically Ontario, make sure you check out this LCS. It is tremendous. So let's get into my new Comic Book Day poll. The first book I'm going to show you is a free book, and I'm presuming most people, including yourself, received this. This is the free Marvel must-haves, Spider-Man and Deadpool. I can remember this series came out, maybe 5 or 6 years ago? I don't think it's that old. But obviously Marvel's trying to push, Deadpool right now because the new film is coming out. And yeah, it's a pretty thick book. Up next is just the cover A for issue #1 of the Spectacular Spider-Man. I gotta admit, I did like that foil, but I left it behind for someone else. Very nice book. I'm hoping that it's really well done, like Ultimate Spider-Man, and the fact that Miles is in it is a big plus for me, as I'm really enjoying Miles Morales Spider-Man over the Amazing Spider-Man. But, we'll see how this goes. Up next is that third printing of Ultimate Spider-Man. Really, really enjoyed this story. If you were unfortunate and didn't pick up a copy, and you're curious on what actually happens with Peter Parker in this particular new universe, now is your chance. Hurry out to your LCS, pick up a copy, read it. You're going to enjoy it. It's really well done. And if you missed out on it again, hey, again, reach out to Chris at Red Rocket Comics. He still has a few copies available. Now, a book that everyone has basically picked up for various reasons, whether it's spec or they're curious, they want to read it. It's Ultimate X-Men #1. Chris was telling me in there that he's had multiple customers that came in today and picked up multiple copies. Chris usually doesn't prohibit people from picking up multiple copies as long as that he has plenty and that the pull list subscribers have been taken care of. So glad to hear that this particular book has done well for Chris today. And so yeah, just in case you weren't aware, this X-Men story does take place in Japan, as Peach Momoko is both writer and illustrator for that book. This is the copy of Venom that was in my pull, and I decided to go with it over that cover A. I just like that trading card variant. It looks great. Nice throwback flavor to it for Venom 31. It is really, really cool. It is a candidate for cover of the week. However, it's still coming. Week after week, month after month, I talk about a couple books that I read that I feel most people don't and that you really should give them a shot. One was Wonder Woman. I'm glad now that Wonder Woman, this new arc with this new volume, is really being well received. And the other book that I have in my hand that I hope takes off and gets as popular and well received as what Wonder Woman is right now is Captain America. I've been reading Cap steadily for about 4 years, and there's been a couple dry arcs where I was just kind of like, a little predictable. But it's tough when you deal with Steve Rogers, you know, the big blue Boy Scout of the Marvel universe. You know, I don't want to say it's Marvel's Superman when you want to rank them power-wise, but when it comes to trying to write stories for these two characters, they're very similar because they walk that narrow path. This has been an excellent volume. Straczynski has done a really good job with Captain America, and yeah, it's a great cover on this issue too. Switch over to the Independents, and this is Void Rivals. Really enjoying the Energon universe, and well, there's not much that can be said because it's very popular across the board with all the masses. Everyone's been reading Void Rivals along with Transformers and Duke, Cobra, and Commander. So I'm looking forward to getting into this, and I hope it's as good as the last issue. Now it's time for cover of the week. So cover of the week, as you probably guessed, belongs to DC. This is the B cover variant that belongs to David Nakayama for issue number 20 of Poison Ivy. This is great. Nakayama hit the ball out of the park again. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Poison Ivy usually has the best variants in comics. I really wish that they would give more talented artists the opportunity to do Ivy, like Nakayama and Frizen. I really wish that a lot of other artists would have their opportunities to do Poison Ivy because, man, she's such a wonderful character to draw. There's so many different things that artists can work with. And yeah, this is really, really well done. Kudos to you, David Nakayama. And the last book is DC's franchise by Chip Zdarsky. This is issue 145 of Batman. Pardon me, I didn't mean to go all Christian Bale on you there. I'm still getting over an illness that's been haunting me for almost a week. This is Dark Prisons Part 1. This gorgeous cover is done by Jorge Jimenez. Glad to see that he's taking care of this particular cover. So yeah, apparently we may have someone pretending to be Batman as Bruce Wayne is in prison. Spoiler alert! And well, you didn't know that. You haven't been reading Batman. But yeah, I'm hoping that this is tremendous. Really excited about getting into this new arc of Batman. Chip Zdarsky's done an excellent job as far as I'm concerned. As you probably know, I wasn't a big fan of the whole idea of year one of the Joker, but I was wrong. It was tremendous. So I'm hoping that it carries on with that great storytelling. Well, Comic Army, that's all I got for you. At this point, I'm going to remind you to please make sure that you hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Leave a comment. Do you agree with me for cover of the week? Or did you see something in my pull list that you feel was probably a little bit better than that Nakayama Ivy cover? And if you're interested in becoming a channel member for this particular YouTube channel, there are now 2 tiers for you to choose from. Until we see you again, Comic Army, thank you so much for your time. Take care.